This series is presented by Solo Hunter brand rifle covers, your gun's best protection against the elements.
It's gonna be the dark continent here in a second. It's funny when it gets dark here, it gets dark.
I'm Remi Warren. What you're about to see is my self-filmed journey as I hunt and explore alone in the African bush. In order to truly experience the veld, I have chosen to limit my food rations and instead live off the land. This is my story.
It's funny how comforting a fire is. It doesn't matter where you're at. It just makes you feel more at ease. You'd think, you know, with all the big animals lurking around, it would be a little more unnerving at night, but the only difference between here and at home is just the noises that the forest makes. There's one animal that almost sounds like a velociraptor. I'm not really sure what that is yet, but I'm not sure I want it to walk into camp.
When I was a kid, I dreamed of Africa. I read Capstick's books more times than I can count. I studied pictures of every species, researched, and I saved every penny I earned during high school with one goal: heading into the long grass. After my high school graduation, I found myself making tracks through the African bush. 9 years later, I found myself in a position as a professional hunter and guide to take on Africa in my terms, hunting how any South African hunter would, alone. These are all native animals on their native range, on a standard working cattle ranch. It's much like you would find anywhere in the US. The property belongs to the first person I ever hunted Africa with, my good friend and PH, Beans Dupree.
This might be a spot I come and sit with a rifle one evening. Especially because I'm going to want some steak here pretty quick. Tastes kind of like green apple. Kudu might have peed on that one. Oh, kudu bowls, 2 of them. Go into the water. Man. I don't know if they're big enough. One of them's maybe big enough. The other 2 are pretty immature. But you can tell because you want like 3 curls. A couple of them, you know, their tips will start coming back in on that last one. One of them starts to come back in. The other 2 are pretty young. Man. That's good. That's exciting. It's fun. It's like 3 bull elk coming out. I mean, I'm pretty pumped right now, knowing that at least I can find him. I think I'm gonna go look for a bush buck. Just go off on this other side and get down a little. See if I can't see one. Yes, sir.
These are self-documented hunting adventures with no production crews. We hunt in very remote locations and often dangerous situations. We are solo hunters.
Just something about this kind of weather and this kind of experience, just this kind of brutality, it makes you feel like a man.
My favorite backpacking food is dead animal.
There!
Make you think twice about stepping out of the tent to take a leak in the middle of the night, that's for sure.
filming myself and trying to shoot stuff just frustrates me. It makes you feel like you're a horrible hunter. It's not the case. You're just a horrible cameraman.
Solo Hunters is brought to you by MUZZY Broadheads, Carbon Express, Gorilla Gear, Outdoor Edge and Vortex Optics, Prime by G5, and Campbell Cameras. Relive your adventure. Closed captioning provided by Trophy Taker Fallaway Arrow Rests, leading the way on the line and in the field. Solo Hunters is brought to you by Prime Bows from G5, where accuracy is everything.
Those kudu moved off, so I'm gonna hurry up and go spot in another spot and see if I can't find something to hunt this evening before it gets too dark. Grab my bag. See if I can't find a better way out of here than in here, because it's pretty pokey. That's not so bad. Tracks right here. I was just moving up. They spotted some up off the road. It's coming this way. Hiker was coming right in. I snuck in, I took my shoes off back there. And he was coming right in, and then he just like had me pegged. I got caught out in the open with the camera setting it up. And then he kept coming. He was about 45 yards. He saw that arrow coming and just wheeled around, but I don't think he was quick enough. I think it caught him quartering away. So fingers crossed. I'm gonna go back and grab my shoes. Give him a good while. At that range is like shooting a little bit smaller than a fox-sized animal, but I'm gonna take a look, see if I can find that arrow. Oh, here it is. Definitely hit him. Doesn't really smell like guts. I mean, I obviously did hit him a little far back. I know that for a fact. Whether it worked up and hit anything vital or not, I'm not sure. It's kind of, it's not the best you want to see on an arrow, especially as it's getting late in the day. I'll review the video and probably I'm going to see if I can't mark some blood tonight and see what it looks like. And then maybe come back in the morning. Or definitely come back in the morning if I don't find it tonight. I was on my way back and I was breaking some firewood and I snapped a branch and a piece of the thorn or branch or something went straight into my kneecap. Oh boy.
take my pliers and see if I can't pull it out. 1, 2. Oh, wow. I don't want to break this thing. Oh, man. 1, 2. Oh, that is a splinter and a half. Good thing it hit the bone because it stopped it from going in up under my kneecap. I was breaking off these branches for a fire, and it didn't come, and I had my leg in the wrong spot, snapped the branch, and that thing, it was like a baseball bat swing right into my leg. Sorry for the underwear shot, but I had to do what I had to do. I gotta find that thing. I want to keep that in my underwear alone.
Behind the Lens is brought to you by CAMO Cameras. Relive your adventure.
Now, a shot that I really think is cool is what's called a rack focus. That's where something in the background is blurred out and something in the foreground comes into focus, or vice versa. It's really easy to do with, say, a manual focus camera like these DSLRs. All you essentially do is put it on manual focus. It's better to be on a tripod, and then you just slowly roll your focus ring. Then when you go to edit it, you can slow it down and you'll get this nice rack focus with just a regular camera.
This segment of Solo Hunters is brought to you by Carbon Express. Shoot better. Solo Hunters is brought to you by PhoneScope, digiscoping accessories for your smartphones.
Keeping my gun handy. Got the bolt open and the barrel facing out. Which, who knows which way out is. Just see what tomorrow brings. This morning I'm back. Figure I'll go to where I last saw it, to go in the bush. Oh, I got blood. Ooh, just a little bit, but I got blood right here. Take a look. I got some good blood, actually. This is where you get eaten by a leopard. Start to follow these trails in here, and then they kind of die off into thick thorns. Oh, there he is. Nice. Oh yeah, this is gonna make some good lunch. I'm excited to have a little fresh meat, a little fresh little male diker, and got him with the bow, which is pretty cool. So that'll be pretty sweet. Tiny little antelope.
At this point, I'm pretty excited to have this diker on the ground. Any meat is a welcome addition to the diet. I'm gonna round up some firewood and get this party of one started.
I finally found a suitable use for all these thorns. Skewers for my diker meat. Just gonna skewer them on here and roast them up for lunch. We're done. Oh, they look pretty juicy. It's actually the first time I've eaten diker meat, so we'll let it cool down there. Steaming hot. Give it a shot here. Wow. Oh man, that is insanely tender. Too bad diker isn't about 400 pounds bigger. I don't think we'd ever eat beef, man. It's different. It's not like a pure red meat. That's Diker. Last piece, who wants some? Let's go hunting again. This plant right here is called Olenhout, and it's it almost looks kind of like on the stem, like almost rose type thorns on it. And then there's this little ball. It's almost like a fruit, but it's definitely not edible. It's poisonous to eat, but it promotes healing. So like if you get cut or have a puncture, which I have, it helps clean out the wound and heal it quicker. So I'm gonna actually take this with me and use it on myself. You want to make sure when they're ripe, they're like this yellow color. You'll see other ones, but they aren't. This one's ripe and ready. You just cut it and then rub it on your open wounds, and it'll help clean it out and let it heal faster, almost like natural Neosporin or something.
Solo Magnified is brought to you by Vortex, the force of optics.
I have a lot of friends on the East Coast, and we get a ton of emails of guys asking what's the most important piece of equipment I should have when planning an elk hunt or a mule deer hunt out west. When you start hunting off your back in the mountains and some of the rugged country, a good frame backpack and a high quality pair of boots is a must. By far the most important tip I can give you, and what most big game hunters will tell you, is don't skimp on your optics. Western country is big country, and to hunt it effectively, you're going to be spending a lot of time looking through your glass. This segment of Solo Hunters is brought to you by Big Green Targets. Go big, go green. For more information on all of our Solo Hunter branded products, social and digital media, exclusive video footage and recommended gear, as well as our choice outfitters, go to solohunterstv.com. Solo Hunters is brought to you by Adventure Medical Kits and Survive Outdoors Longer. Expect the unexpected.
There are so many indigenous species to hunt in Africa, you never really know what you're going to run into. My priority is bushbuck and warthog, but I am not one to pass up an opportunity when it's handed to me.
Monkeys can eat it, I can eat it. These bushbucks move normally right before dark, or at first light. They're really hard to spot. A lot of times it's just a glimpse through the trees. I mean, even the kudu are huge and they're hard to spot. Bushbuck they blend in, man. It's like spotting coos deer in really thick country. They stay in the thick stuff. I guess that's why they're called bushbucks. I really got my work cut out for me to try to shoot one with a bow and film it. I'm not opposed to using the rifle. I've actually taken a bushbuck here in the Eastern Cape with my gun a few years back, so I'm going to try to do it with the bow if I can, before it gets too dark. Oh, there's one. No. What is that? It's a warthog. I think I'm gonna get down there and go after him. Who knows, might run into bushbuck along the way. Worth a shot. must have winded me. Bummer. Just got tripod and bow and camera. Not conducive for bow hunting. Not conducive at all. Battery's dying. I'm almost out.
That diker was good, and I love bow hunting, but I am almost a week in without another kill, so it's time to break out the rifle and hunt like I'm hungry. I'm the kind of person that when I get something in my mind, I have to go for it. Right now, warthogs are on my mind. As crazy as it may sound, they've just moved up to the top of my list, even if it means putting a bushbuck on the back burner.
I'm gonna be yacked carrying this heavy camera and holding it up all the time. I am take no prisoners mode on warthogs right now. If they are 600 yards, they're gonna get shot at. I'm treating them like coyotes.
The Solo After Show is brought to you by Outdoor Edge, quality knives and tools for the big game hunter. Can't seem to get enough solo hunters? Now you can get extended behind-the-scenes access into the show. You'll find additional video clips from our fans, as well as a look into some of our exclusive tips and outtakes that we couldn't fit into the show. All this and more at solohunterstv.com.